Welcome back to 1915 Woodworks. In this video, we start our small shop survival guide. This is a series designed to show you all the small tips and tricks that I utilize in my small shop. So if you work out of a small shop, maybe it's your garage or your mother's basement, this is the series you want to watch. Let's get started. All right, so let's kick off this small shop survival guide with number one as wall storage. Go up. You have walls in your shop. Use them. Use every square inch that you can. A French cleat wall is a fantastic way to use space, although you do have to account for the fixtures being able to come on and off. So pegboard is a good option. Just hanging screws into a piece of plywood is a feasible option. In fact, that's how I hang up my layout tools. My drill station is just screwed into a piece of plywood. You don't have to utilize French cleats, but if you do, they are super handy. And in a small shop, the theme is evolution. You always have to be flexible and willing to change, have tools on wheels, have things on French cleats so you can move them around. It's really helpful. But another tip is when you set up your shop, if you've never set one up or if you're just ready to make a change, think about where you're going to spend the majority of your time. For me, my outfeed table is also my assembly table and my layout station. It's where I do 90% of the work. It's where I sand, it's where I lay out, it's where I design, everything. So having my pencils and my routers and everything that I need at a quick reach is really handy. But what I don't have is my layout tools. I currently have those over by the miter station. The only tool that I really need by the miter station is a tape measure and a speed square, because I don't use my miter saw for precision cuts most of the time. I'm just rough cutting lumber. What I really need to do is move my layout tools to the wall behind my workbench. So you always have to be willing to adapt and evolve in a small shop. So number one, wall storage. Shop tip number two is going to be eliminating the small annoyances. And we're not talking about your children, we're talking about things you can eliminate without going to prison. So an example, let's say you just did a big glue up, it's all done, you take the clamps off and you just lean them up against the wall because you don't have good clamp storage and you don't want to fight with trying to put them away right now. You end up tripping on them, they get damaged, you get hurt, it's terrible, right? Well, just eliminate that as an issue and just build yourself proper clamp storage. It doesn't take long and it looks great. Another example, let's say your air compressor hose. For me, the hose that came with my air compressor was terrible. I hated winding it up. It always came undone. It was a pain. I ended up not using my air compressor when it would be useful, such as blowing off the tabletop or using an air tool. Well, I purchased a hose reel and I don't fight it anymore. I eliminated that small annoyance. Another example would be adding a dedicated power source to your workbench. For me, I added a power strip, and the reason was I didn't want to have to fight with extension cords, putting them away each time or getting them out each time I need to use a power tool at my outfeed table / workbench was really a pain. So adding a dedicated power strip that had enough outlets that I could leave my sander plugged in, I could leave my phone charger plugged in, and I could plug in tools as I need them, eliminated the annoyance of having extension cords. It also is no longer a tripping hazard because there aren't extension cords draped around the shop, and I have power right where I need it. So by eliminating these small annoyances, we make the shop time more enjoyable. Whether you're out here every day or you're out here a few times a month or a few times a year, when you come out here, you don't want to fight things. Chances are, if you have to fight something, you're going to find a way around it. And maybe that's not the best solution. So by eliminating the small annoyances, we make our shop time more enjoyable. And number three is going to be magnets. 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 Magnets are super inexpensive and super helpful. As you can see, I use them all over the shop to hold tape measures, push sticks, the chuck key, tape measures, pencils. They're all over the shop. So hopefully these three small shop survival tips have come in handy, and I look forward to coming back to you with more next time. Magnets. Now, my small shop survival tip, that's gonna be a mouthful. There aren't extension cords. You don't have to wrap something up every time you need to use it.